guys use all that. Your mother doesn't get it.
She went to Alabama.
She's not. This bandwagon doesn't like
I don't think it's working though.
It says no CMs too. it going?
It goes.
Agriculture is like no other business, which makes Farm Credit Services of America like no other lender. Owned by the farmers and ranchers we serve, our customers have a voice in how we work, a stake in what we do, and share in our success. Discover a lender that works for you at Farm Credit Services of America.
91 Cyclones and your own O'Neill Eagles. Prior to our regular pregame announcements, we would like to recognize our senior softball players and their parents. Senior parents, please make your way to the home dugout. Our first senior is Aubrey Blackburn. She's the daughter of Sarah Blackburn and Justin Blackburn. Aubrey has played primarily second base for the Eagles over the last 3 years. She has a fielding percentage of .830 and a batting average of .286. Aubrey has played in 60 varsity games and has come back from an injury last spring to be a leader on and off the field. Her extracurriculars outside of softball include FFA and rodeo. Her favorite thing about softball is the ability to connect with girls outside of school and form a bond with them on and off the field. Aubrey's teammates describe her as a hard worker who never quits and is a joy to be around. Aubrey Blackburn. Brenna Davis. Brenna is the daughter of Tim and Nikki Davis. Brenna has been the DP in the batting order for the last 2 years, along with playing first base for JV and varsity. Brenna has posted a batting average of .455 and continues to be an important part of our offense with 40 hits over the last 2 years. Extracurriculars outside of softball include FFA, National Honor Society, and being a wrestling manager. Her favorite things about softball are always having a second family and how everyone is positive, and if someone is down, they pick each other up. She loves that softball teaches her life lessons like teamwork, communication, and discipline. Brenna's teammates describe her as always willing to help them out and that they can count on her to get a hit to fire everyone up. Brenna Davis. Brenna Gadanitz. Brenna is the daughter of James and Elizabeth Gadanitz, hosted by Kurt and Sarah Sidak. Brenna joined softball last year as a junior, which is not an easy task. She has worked hard to be where she is and is an exceptional teammate. Extracurriculars outside of softball include FFA, National Honor Society, musical, O Club, and being a wrestling manager. Her favorite thing about softball is the environment. She says that the team laughs a lot and always has a good time together. She adds that softball feels like a family and that she has enjoyed playing these last 2 years. Brenna's teammates describe her as a great teammate that is always positive and a great role model. Brenna Gadanitz. Next up, we have Ana Eid Gonzalez. Ana Eid is the daughter of Elazar and Diana Gonzalez. Ana Eid decided to come out for softball her junior year. She's picked up the game quickly and is a great outfielder and base runner. Extracurriculars outside of softball include FCCLA, One Axe, musical, Eagle Eye Broadcasting, and being a wrestling manager. Her favorite thing about softball is the girls on the team and the memories they have made along the way. Ana Eid's teammates describe her as an uplifter who is kind and supportive and always has a smile on her face. Ana Eid Gonzalez. Next up, Ramsey Hofer. Ramsey is the daughter of Carly Hofer and Jason Hofer. Ramsey has been playing softball for 4 years. She has primarily played in the outfield, even though she got thrown into second base a time or two. She is always an excellent base runner and uses her experience to help the team on the bases and the field. Extracurriculars outside of softball include journalism, dance team, and campus ministry. Her favorite thing about softball is the friendships she has made and how our team always lifts each other up. Ramsey's teammates describe her as always willing to step up when needed, accountable, and puts in the work every day while making other players better at the same time. Ramsey Hofer. Next up, we have Harley Kinnison, daughter of the late Jennifer Storjean and granddaughter of Alberta and Jim Storjean. Harley has been an outstanding catcher for the Eagles for the last 3 years. She was kind of thrown into the role her freshman year at practice when she was the only one who said she'd ever caught before. The rest is history. Harley's quiet leadership behind the plate has been nothing short of amazing. She's posted a .275 batting average and a fielding percentage of .978. Harley's favorite thing about softball is that nobody gives up after a mistake and how the team helps each other out when they need it. Harley's teammates describe her as the toughest player they know and that all her hard work and hustle doesn't go unnoticed. Harley Kinnison. Our next senior, Emerson Manerick. Daughter of Lisa and Josh Manerick, Emerson has played outfield and first base for the Eagles. This year, she cemented her position at first base, having a fielding percentage of .989. She's the vocal leader of our team, known as the Team Hype Girl, and is a positive voice all the time in the huddle. Extracurriculars outside of softball include basketball and track. Her favorite thing about softball is the friendship she has made while playing. Emerson's teammates describe her as a great leader who isn't afraid to step up and keep everyone on track. Emerson Manerick. Our next senior is Danny Rouse. Danny is the daughter of Amy and Justin Rouse. Danny has moved from first base to outfield to third base over the course of her 3 years playing varsity. She's accepted whatever role has been dealt to her and has done them all exceptionally well. Danny has posted a .370 batting average so far this year and can be counted on to hit a line drive when we need it most. She's always up to make someone laugh and is an important part of our team. Extracurriculars outside of softball include FFA. Her favorite thing about softball is the team, coaches, and being with everyone throughout the season. Danny's teammates describe her as funny and positive player all the time, and a great teammate and someone they can look up to. Danny Rouse. Last but certainly not least, Riley Selby. Riley is the daughter of Diane and Benny Selby. Riley has been the varsity pitcher since her sophomore year. She worked very hard in the offseason to be where she is. This year, she posted a batting average of .345 and a fielding percentage of .967. Riley also holds the record for strikeouts in a game, 17, and has surpassed 500 career strikeouts for the Eagles. Extracurriculars outside of softball include basketball and National Honor Society. Her favorite thing about softball is the friendships she has made along the way. Riley's teammates describe her as a team player and someone who has an insane work ethic and deserves everything she has. Riley Selby. Let's hear it one more time for these seniors and their parents. Thank you so much.
Everybody was really excited about it.
I know Jim York, who has a daughter on the team. He's the administrator on duty here tonight as well. I was talking to him a little while ago, and he asked me how many times has O'Neill beaten Guardian Angels in softball. I told him 3 that I could remember it, so I wasn't too far off. It was just 4 times.
Yeah, I think this last win was the fourth win, and it says a lot about GAC's program out there. That they do a nice job, have good softball, but a good memory for this team and for these seniors who we're honoring tonight.
That boosted O'Neill's record to 12-10 on the season. The Eagles taking on a team that struggled to get wins on the season in Highway 91, just 2-17 on the year.
Yeah, and that if you look just at the record, you think, man, we should roll tonight, but I think if you dig a little deeper and look at some scores, you might find out that they battled pretty hard, and it might be a little bit better than what their record indicates.
Absolutely, and to your point, 4 of those losses have been by 2 runs or less.
Yeah, and so it says they're capable, so I think O'Neill's got to make sure they bring their A game, and they're at their best, and they focus, and then they would have a good shot, but you don't want to give a team that is willing to battle like they have any openings, because they might just take advantage of it.
O'Neill comes in averaging 6.4 runs a game compared to 4.5 for Highway 91. Highway 91, 242 hitting as a team, and the Eagles are 298. In fact, O'Neill better in almost all the major statistical categories, better in average, on-base percentage, fielding percentage, etc. But that doesn't mean a whole lot once the first pitch is thrown. You still have to execute and play the game. And the old saying in baseball is that the wrong team wins 25% of the time. It probably isn't quite as true in softball, because you oftentimes can send your ace out there every time.
Right.
But it can be unpredictable.
It can be unpredictable. You have a night where everything you hit is on the nose and hard, but it goes right at the defenders. And they have a night where they may hit it off the end of the bat, get fisted, but it seems to find a hole. And those few hits comes after a few walks, and things can go south on you.
So you're listening to Dr. Pepper pregame. The seniors have been introduced. The coaches meeting at home plate with the umpires. We're going to take a break, then we'll come back with your starting lineups brought to you by Frickle Well Service and more after these messages.
Three River Communications is taking your internet, phone, and TV to the next level. Streaming, gaming, working, or learning, it all happens smoother with Three River. Come see us just one block south of the Shamrock in O'Neill and experience the difference yourself. Get unbeatable internet, crystal clear calls, and awesome cable TV, all powered by brand new fiber optic technology. Three River Communications, proud to support high school sports.
Leadoff hitter for the Cyclones is the center fielder, Rhiann Brune. Batting second, playing second base is Allie Dirkschneider. Three hitters, the catcher, that's Brittany Faltis. Four hitters, the pitcher, Madeline Rayback. Batting fifth, Reese Brune, the first baseman. The left fielder, Hannah Check, hits in the sixth spot. Batting seventh, the designated player, Bailey Rios. The right fielder, Emma Bernhardt, hits in the eighth spot. The nine hitter is the shortstop, and that is Grace Hansen. And the flex player defensively, we'll go through this again when they take the field defensively in the bottom half of the first, but the third baseman not batting is Jocelyn Donnelly. And once again, the Cyclones 2-17 on the season. They are coached by Drew Mockmuller, Tiffany Rayback, Brianna Rui, and Paige. I checked all the last names. Paige Rayback. I'm wondering about
Rayback.
Yeah. Well, that's the last name's right. I'm wondering about the first name.
Yeah, that would be Paige.
I think it's Paige. It might be a typo, I believe. But anyway, there's your starting lineup.
If it's French, it could be Paget.
Yeah, you're right. There's your starting lineup for Highway 91, brought to you by Fricka Well Service. Now for O'Neill, defensively for the Eagles. Fricka Well Service starting lineup. In left field is Anid Gonzalez, Bristol Scott in center, and Ramsey Hofer in right. Third base, Danny Rouse. Shortstop, Grace Druke. Aubrey Blackburn at second base, and over at first is Emerson Molnaric, and the battery made up of catcher Harley Kinnison and pitcher Riley Selby. And for O'Neill, Hofer, Molnaric, Kinnison, Blackburn, Selby, and Rouse, they are all seniors on this Eagle team. And in fact, I believe there are 8 in all. Brenna Gadanitz being the other one. And she actually, and I need Gonzalez, in left fielder. I was telling Emily Morrow earlier about how since I quit teaching, I really lost track of what grade everybody's in and so forth. So there's your Fricka Well Service starting lineups for O'Neill. Let's transition over to our M&M Lockers at Bristow forecast and see them for all your custom meat processing needs. And right on cue, Steve Brown, I got a call this morning about 8 o'clock from none other than Jim Corp of M&M Lockers. So
offering free Bristow dogs?
Well, that'd be a good deal. I have some meat.
Batting fifth and playing first base, number 10, Reese Brune. Batting sixth.
High 85 today, O'Neill below 52. Currently 84 tonight. Clear. Lows in the mid-50s. Light variable winds becoming southwest up to 10 miles an hour after midnight. Once again, your softball forecast brought to you by M&M Lockers of Bristow. See them for all your custom meat processing needs. And then also your Three River scorecard. A lot of activities sports-wise going on around the area. Earlier today, the Wayne Golf Invite, O'Neill and West Holt were there. That started at 9 a.m. Burwell Quad, one of the area teams there was Ainsworth. Cross-country meet Crofton at 4:30. Summerlin competing there. Of course, here's softball. O'Neill getting ready to entertain Highway 91. And then lots of volleyball. Sandhill, Stedford, Triangular has Sandhill, Stedford, Stewart, and Valentine. Nebraska Christian Triangular has Nebraska Christian, EPBJ, and Riverside. Stanton Triangular has Stanton, Summerlin, and Crofton. And I think I have a little more actually on our Three River scorecard as well. More volleyball as Cedar Catholic Triangular with O'Neill and Wayne Cedar Catholic there. Burwell at Ainsworth, West Holt at Neely Oakdale, Bloomfield at Niobrara Verdigris, Wausau, Creighton, Randolph at St. Mary, 6 o'clock. Tim Hansen getting ready to go on the air there on 102.9 FM and KBRX.com, just a few blocks north of us. And then also North Central at CWC and Boyd County at Andy Central in South Dakota. Once again, that's a look at your Three River scorecard brought to you by Three River, your telecommunications leader. Teams are being introduced and definitely contrasting uniform patterns. As for the Cyclones of Highway 91, they have the gray uniforms, the gray pinstripe pants with the purple numbers. We're getting our anthem here, so we're going to send it back to Corey in the studio. Then we'll come back with softball after these messages.
Come down to your local Stadium Sports in O'Neill, Nebraska, where you can satisfy all your sporting and clothing needs in just one store. They have a wide variety of many different sporting items and clothing that we know you would love. If you're not sure you like their clothing, they will even let you try it on in this fancy dressing room. They also have a website. You can visit them at stadiumsportso'neill.com. If you want to give them a ring, their phone number is 402-336-2282.
At O'Neill Family Pharmacy, we're more than just your hometown pharmacy. We're your neighbors. From prescriptions and healthcare essentials to unique gifts for every occasion, our full-service pharmacy and retail store has you covered. Our friendly and helpful staff are here to make your experiences easy and welcoming. And when life gets busy, don't worry. Our all-hours pharmacy vending machine is available anytime, day or night. O'Neill Family Pharmacy, caring for you around the clock.
There's a new tomorrow on the other side of the horizon. There are houses to make into homes, businesses to be built, and friendships to enjoy.
Someday's gonna be one day soon.
Build your tomorrow with a bank you can rely on. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be.
Kinnison comes out with the catcher's gear. Riley Selby in the circle for O'Neill has been a really solid pitcher for O'Neill all 3 years. She's been in that role at the varsity level. And for Selby on the season, 11-6 record. Her record is almost the record of the team. O'Neill's 12-8. She's 11-6. And 56 earned runs and 107 and a third innings. She has 100, and we talked about how this would improve, 150 strikeouts to 70 walks, so more than twice as many now. Started kind of slow, walked a few more early than she normally would, but she's really settled in.
Yeah, when she's on, she's fun to watch. She hits her spots, and she's got quite a bit of velocity, and the people on the right side, second baseman, first baseman, right fielder, really have to be on their toes.
Selby finishing her warm-up tosses. Gary Hauster with Steve Brown. Glad to have you along on 1350 AM, 99.9 FM, KBRX O'Neill, also streaming live on KBRX.com. And a big welcome aboard to those of you listening and viewing on Eagle Eye Broadcasting. Of course, we'll call this as a radio game because it is on radio, but also some of you watching our Eagle Eye video. Emily Morrow pushing the buttons for that just off to our right. Throw goes through to second base, and here we go. Standing in is Rianne Brune, the center fielder, right-handed batter. We talked about the gray uniforms with the purple pinstripes, the purple socks, the purple numerals for Highway 91. First pitch of fastball from Selby runs inside for ball one. 1-0 to Brune with Dirk Schneider on deck. Then Faltis, if somebody would reach base, Madeline Raybeck would bat. So Brune with something we've been accustomed to, Bristol Scott playing a step or two over toward right because Selby is a pretty hard thrower. This one's a comeback, a great play by Selby over to Molnaric first, 1-3 on the putout for out number one. That was a hard hit ball.
Yeah, very hard hit ball, very quick reaction. One thing we've talked about on other broadcasts is how well that Riley fields her position. She does a nice job there again.
Here's Allie Dirkschneider, the second baseman, another right-handed batter. Selby went with the inside fastball to Brune, and she hit it right back up the middle, but Selby is able to snag it. This pitch looks like he took something off of that one, swung on and missed for strike one. 0-1 to Dirkschneider, right-handed batting second baseman.
I couldn't tell if that was a rise ball or a straight change, but it was good enough to get her to swing under it.
Selby's pitch. This one, did she go? Yes, she did. It looked like, again, she may have taken something off of that pitch.
Well, it's just a smart pitch. You're probably right at the top of the zone with strike one, so raise it up 6 inches and see if you can get her to chase, and she did.
The 0-2, Selby looking for her first strikeout of the night. This one swung on. Dirkschneider has other ideas and rips it foul out of play on the left side. Anid Gonzalez, the left fielder, fighting a little bit of sun as this field faces the southeast, so the sun field this time of day is in left. Selby. Pitch, change up, just low for ball one. 1-2 to Ali Dirkschneider. Dirkschneider, a .327 hitter on the season. Scott playing straight away in center. Hofer a step toward the line and right. This fouled back to the screen. So Dirkschneider hanging tough in there. The sixth pitch of the at-bat upcoming to Ali Dirkschneider. Faltus, catcher, waiting in the on-deck circle. Selby checks the wristband. Now looks to the dugout. Kinnison setting up outside. We'll see if that's where Selby goes. She went inside. This one swung and a miss, but it gets away from Kinnison. Throw to first. Nice play by Harley Kinnison. It'll be a strikeout swinging and then a 2-3 put out for out number 2. And Steve Brown, I think Kinnison was expecting that location to be outside, and that's what made it tough for her to handle.
Right. Yeah, she set up quite a bit outside. Was hoping to get her to chase, and Riley came up and in, and sometimes that hitter might even see that catcher adjust out of the corner of her eye, and she's thinking outside as well, and that's why that high inside pitch fools her.
Here's Brittany Faltus. Faltus, .356 on the season, right-handed batting catcher. She has a pronounced open stance. Selby's pitch through for a called strike one. 0-1 to Faltus. Madeline Rayback, pitcher, waits on deck, but there are 2 outs and nobody aboard here. Top half of inning number 1. Riley Selby, senior pitcher, last home game of the year for the Eagles. This one swung on and missed for strike 2. I guess I should check last regular season home game.
Right.
I didn't check to see if O'Neill would be in line to host a sub-district. I don't believe the point total is quite there. But again, O'Neill's been on a winning streak, winning 3 of their last 4.
Yeah,
Change up just high.
The win over GAC will definitely help their power points because GAC is probably a tier 1 team, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I know their record at 13-9 or 14-8, somewhere in there. They have definitely a good record. 1-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. So Selby pumping gas early. Strikes out 2 in the top of the first. And for Highway 91, no runs, no hits. There were no errors and no runners left on base. After half inning play, your score, Highway 91 0 and O'Neill coming to bat. Back to Kearney Park after you listen to these messages.
There's a new tomorrow on the other side of the horizon.
Someday's gonna be one day soon.
Build your tomorrow with a bank you can rely on. Pinnacle Bank.
Here on a broadcast in the triangular with Valentine, Stewart, and Sandhill Thetford. Valentine defeated Stewart 2 sets to 0, 25-16 and 25-18. Sandhill Thetford won over the Broncos in 2 sets, 25-15 and 25-14. Big thanks to Corey for passing those scores along as they come into us here. O'Neill getting ready to bat in the bottom half of inning number 1. It'll be Blackburn, Drucke, and Selby Davis if somebody gets on base. A little bit of a shift in the batting order for O'Neill. Blackburn at one time on the season was hitting in the 9 spot. Now she's up at the leadoff.
I actually had that conversation with Coach Price. He talked about how they really like her swing in terms of how fundamentals and quickness and stuff, and her timing, something just wasn't quite clicking, and that happens in Ing. And in the last few games, she's been kind of hitting it on the nose, and senior night probably plays a little something into that. But if you got a good swing and you're willing to stick with it, sometimes hitting goes that way. You can go 0 for and then turn around and go 8 for 10. And she may be a little bit on that streak.
Just a 178 hitter, but that average has been on the rise for Blackburn. She's a right-handed batting second baseman. This pitch is through for a called strike one. Check in left, Brune in center, Bernhardt in right, Donnelly at short, Donnelly at third, Hanson at short, Dirk Schneider at second, and Reese Brune at first. This one's down low for a ball, and a battery made up of catcher Brittany Faldas and pitcher Madeline Rayback. 1-1 count on Aubrey Blackburn with Grace Druke waiting in the on-deck circle. Druke, the shortstop, she started the season at third base but moved to short when the starting shortstop, Tinsley Sorensen, broke her ankle a couple of weeks ago, and Sorensen was leading the team in several offensive categories. Down low, 2-1 count on Blackburn.
Grace was one of the hitters. She had a big hit in that game in the win against GAC, a big triple.
Rayback takes a little more time, puts her back to the plate. Now is back in contact with a pitching rubber. This offering is down low for a ball. 3-1 to Blackburn. Blackburn's second baseman also competes in rodeo in the summertime. 3-1, it's inside, and Blackburn has a 5-pitch walk. She's aboard for O'Neill here at the bottom of the first. And here's Grace Druke. Druke, 224 on the season, has some power. Right-handed batting shortstop. Druke also an outstanding wrestler. Riley Selby waits on deck. Selby, for a lot of the year, was the leadoff hitter. More on that in just a few moments. Hitting in the 3 spot tonight, and Selby has shown some power on the season.
We had talked a little bit about how she's leadoff hitter, but was leading in RBIs. And that may be one of the reasons why they moved her to the 3 spot.
There goes the runner, and stealing second, now on her way to third. Maybe a play on her, trying to swipe 2 bases is Blackburn, but she is out as the throw went into center field, and it was backed up out there, and a great throw. I think it came from Brune, the center fielder, and they gunned down Blackburn, who had stolen second base and tried to take another one. That goes 8-5 for out number 1. So just like that, the base runner for O'Neill is erased.
Yeah, we talk a little bit about, I don't know if they think the same way in softball as baseball, about not wanting to make the first or the third out at third base because you're already in the scoring position at second.
Druke lines this offering out of play on the right side. So a 2-1 count now. Mystical pitches there on Druke. 2-1 to Druke as we're getting the scoreboard corrected there for Blackburn, who stole second but then thrown out trying to get an extra base. This is outside for a ball. 3-1 to Druke. No score, bottom half, inning number 1. Druke stands back in. Mentioned right-handed batter, slightly open stance. Pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Rayback trying to come all the way back on Druke. Has worked a full count. Selby waits on deck. Outfield straight away for the right-handed batting, Grace Druke. Payoff pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to right. Coming on, but it's going to fall in front of Bernhardt, so a single for Grace Druke. Off the bat, I thought Bernhardt might have a chance at that, but she was playing fairly deep.
Yeah, she would have had to run a long way for that. I thought it was going to hang up, and she had a shot as well. Druke has kind of changed. Early on in the year, she's tended to want to pull everything. She must have made some adjustments because she's doing a nice job letting it get deeper in the zone and hit it more up the middle or to right field.
Pitch through for a called strike 1 to Selby. 0-1 to Selby. Steve said she was a leadoff hitter for much of the year, but she leads the team with 22 RBIs, has a couple of home runs. And Steve Brown, that begged the question, this is up high for a ball, has a major league leadoff hitter ever led his team in home runs? The answer is yes, and it hasn't been that long ago. Right. And a player that you are a fan of, or should I say used to be a fan of?
Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts is correct, yes. One-time Red Sox, now with the Dodgers. He did it with the Dodgers in 2023. 107 runs batted in on a really even, powerful hitting team, but it helped that he had 39 home runs.
Right. Well, it also helps that the 7, 8, 9 hitters would be the top 5 hitters on a lot of teams in the major leagues, so they're on base all the time.
Count evens up 2-2 on Selby. Selby up there with runner Druke at first base and 1 out. 2-2. Outside for a ball, so it's full up on Riley Selby. Yeah, Betts mentioned 39 home runs. Now you can imagine a number of those were solo, but there were also some with 7, 8, 9 guys on the middle innings that allowed him to put up that lofty number. Swung on, fouled back. Selby spoils it, at least for the moment. Riley Selby hitting in the 3 spot. Looking to drive in Druki. She'd need the extra bases to do that. Druki over at first. Open stance for Selby, the pitch. Change up, comebacker. Rayback has it. She'll go to first to Reese Broon in time. 1-3. Selby gone for out number 2. Druki moves to second on the throw. And here's Brenna Davis, the designated player. And Davis has been swinging a hot bat. 373 average. She leads the team with 22 hits.
That's pretty impressive. The thing I really like about Brenna is she hits the ball all over the field. You can't just play her to pull or.
Takes a fastball at the knees. Called strike 1. 0-1 to Brenna Davis. Danny Rouse waits on deck. Druki in scoring position at second base, but now 2 outs. Davis, left-hander, pronounced open stance. The second offering to her from Rayback is upstairs. Ball 1. 1-1 to Davis. One of 9 seniors on this O'Neill roster. And it was senior parents' night tonight. They were honored before the game. We'll run down a couple times during our broadcast. Rayback's pitch. Swung on and missed. Looked like she took something off that one. Druki to third. She's in there, and the throw gets into left field, and Druki will score standing up. So Druki putting the pressure on the defense, and there'll be an error there on that throw that went into left field.
I couldn't tell. Did that pitch get away from the catcher, or was that kind of a delayed steal by Druki?
A little bit of a delayed steal. 1-2 count. Swung on, ground ball to second. Bobbled by Dirk Schneider, but she recovers and throws to Reese Broon in time for the out. 4-3 on the putout for out number 3. O'Neill breaks through with a run on 1 hit. There was an error and nobody left on base. After 1 complete, your Pinnacle Bank score, it is the Eagles 1 and Highway 91 0. Back with a second after these messages. Thanks, Kurt. Perfect. Madeline Rayback comes to the plate to lead off the second inning. O'Neill leading the game 1-0. Rayback, Broon, check. Somebody reaches base. Rios would bat. Rayback, the pitcher up there trying to help her own cause, as a 1-0 count. Selby's second offering runs inside for ball 2. 2-0 to Madeline Rayback. Right-handed batting pitcher. Stands back in, has an even stance. Druki in front of the bag at third. The pitch through for a called strike 1. So far, no one's reached base for Highway 91, but we are just in the top half of inning number 2 after Selby and the Eagles retired the Cyclones in order in the top of the first. Selby's 2-1 with Kinnison setting up outside is swung on and missed for strike 2. 2-2 to Rayback. Homecoming week for the Eagles as well. O'Neill homecoming football game will be tomorrow night at 6 p.m. against Wayne. Selby's pitch. Gets inside. Ball 3. So Selby toying with the corners. Had that one run just a bit inside. So it's full up on Madeline Rayback, trying to become the first base runner of the game for Highway 91. Selby, the payoff pitch. Swung on, grounded foul over toward the O'Neill dugout.
I think this is the first batter that Selby has been behind. Those first three batters, the first thing, I think she started out on top with the strike. From a pitching standpoint, that's where you like to be.
Yeah, the only one she was, I guess, technically behind was Rianne Broom, but it was 1-0, and she hit the second pitch as a comebacker. Swung on, ground ball through the left side and into left field for a base hit. Rouse at third. I said Druki, but Druki, of course, playing shortstop now with Sorensen's injury. Rouse at third kind of tried to wave at that one, but that was hit hard and
It was hit
to
very,
the
very
hole.
hard. I think it looked like she might have got just a little bit of her glove on it, but when it's hit that hard and you're playing that close, those are very difficult plays to make.
So a runner at first in the person of Rayback. Did they run for her? I'll check and see over there. The numbers are a little difficult to see on the jerseys, on the dark gray. Try to pick that up. I think they may have sent a courtesy runner in for Rayback. In any event, Reese Brune is up there. This one's down low for ball one. 1-0 to Brune. Of course, when you want that base runner to turn just ever so slightly, they don't. And she has the ponytail covering up the number partially as well. Down low for ball two. 2-0 to Reese Brune. Hannah Check waits in the on-deck circle. Rayback is number 6.
This is it's 20 something.
Okay.
I couldn't get the
So
second
it
number.
could be, it's not Rianne Brune. It could be either Rebecca Haystrider. Up high, the ball back to the screen. Down to second goes that runner. We're still trying to identify.
23, I believe.
Okay, and that would be Rebecca Haystrider, a junior, is the courtesy runner. 1-0 O'Neill, but the tying run for Highway 91 in the person of Haystrider at second base and Reese Brune with a 3-0 count, the pitch. Outside for a ball, and to third on that wild pitch will go Haystrider, and to first goes Reese Brune. So runners on the corners and nobody out. Highway 91 has something going, and we talked about in the pregame how this, don't be fooled by the 2-17 record.
Yes, you get a chance like this, you get a kind of a hard hit ball, and you got to walk, and all of a sudden, you get a stolen base here, and then a base hit, and then it's 2-1, and things can get rolling against you in a hurry.
Swung on and missed. I checked for strike one, and to second base on defensive indifference goes Reese Brune. Check is very close, as I can always look for when I do baseball and softball games. I look for, like, say, the 5-hitter wearing number 5 and playing third base. Check wears number 7. She plays left field, but she's hitting in the 6th spot, not the 7th spot. This one's up high and back to the screen, but not much room back to the screen there, so with nobody out, Haystrider holds on at first. And all of a sudden, Selby, who's had good control of late, having a little trouble finding the strike zone, she walked Brune and now has one go back to the screen on Check. There's a 1-1 count on Hannah Check. No force out. Runners on second and third. Nobody out. Swung on and missed. High heat that time from Selby. The other night, Selby and the Eagles stranded the tying run against Guardian Angels. They had the tying run on third with only 1 out. O'Neill was able to get the last 2 outs without that runner scoring.
The one thing that Riley has been able to do in the handful of games that we've been able to watch is pitch herself out of some tough situations. And we're hoping that's the case here.
Down low for ball 2. There was a time, Jim York was reminding me of this with O'Neill, where number 7 played in left field, number 8 played in center, and number 9 played in right with Hofer, Scott, and York. This is a called strike 3. Big one there. Check down looking for out number 1. Bottom part of the zone, and for Selby, her 3rd strikeout, and that came at a good time for O'Neill. Here's Bailey Rios, the designated player. Rios, 7-hitter in the order, batting in place of Donnelly, who plays third base. Pitch swung on, fouled over toward the Cyclone dugout sharply. Emerson Molnaric, the first baseman, playing in with just 1 out. O'Neill liked to cut the run down. Rouse even with a bag at third. Druki and Blackburn, medium depth in the middle infield. Swung on again, hit sharply, foul, out of play on the right side.
Well, this early game, Coach Miller might be thinking, we'll trade a run for an out because I think they're feeling comfortable with how well they're putting the ball in play. with their offense at this point.
Yeah, Molnaric might be the only one that would come home with it. Change up down low for a ball. Mouse back now even with the bag at third base.
She tends on the pitch. She tends to take 2 or 3 pretty good steps in, and she ends up being in front of the base quite a bit.
And Blackburn, where she's playing, it'd be a pretty long throw unless it was really scored. Swung on and missed. Riley Selby saying, infielders, you can move back. There's 2 outs. As with runners on second and third and nobody out, Selby do what a veteran does, back-to-back strikeouts. And Molnaric, we see her right away move back behind the bag at first.
That's a mental toughness thing, to be able to just dig deep and go back to your fundamentals and not try to do too much. Hit your spots and hopefully let your defense work if they put it in play.
Here's Bernhardt, takes one inside for ball 1. 1-0 to Emma Bernhardt with Grace Hansen waiting in the on-deck circle. Selby, a glance toward the dugout. Fastball high, ball 2.
Do we ever determine if softball is allowing the ear where you can communicate with your catcher and call?
I did. That's one thing I did not check on.
We were going to do that, and I forgot all about it.
2-0. Pitch down low for ball 3. 3-0 to Bernhardt. A walk wouldn't be the worst thing for O'Neill. It would set up a force anywhere. But Eagles would just as soon retire Bernhardt and head back to the dugout. O'Neill leads at 1-0 in the top half of inning number 2. Selby checks the wristband. She has 4 strikeouts through an inning and 2/3. Fastball this missed. A 4-pitch walk to Bernhardt. Selby's second free pass of the game. And here's Grace Hansen, the 9-hitter. She's the shortstop. Hansen, O'Neill now has a force anywhere. Even stance, right-hand batter. You might even say slightly closed stance. Kinnison setting up outside. Selby and Kinnison worked a lot together as battery mates through their years here in the Eagle program and through summer softball. Fastball in the inside half for a called strike 1 to Hansen. Selby. Pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 2. 0-2 to Hansen.
Good job bouncing back. You had the 4-pitch walk and then comes right back to the 9-hitter and starts up ahead with 2 strikes.
0-2. Up high for a ball. 1-2 to Hansen. Selby trying to strike out the side after Highway 91 got the first 2 hitters on. They had second and third with nobody out, and Selby has 2 strikeouts and a free pass to Bernhardt. Pitch swung on line, foul down the right side. Selby and the Eagles take a collective sigh of relief. That would have scored a couple runs had it been able to nestle along the line. Although for O'Neill, Ramsey Hofer is playing a step or so toward the line in right field. She oftentimes plays left. The pitch, inside, great stop by Kinnison. That perhaps saved a run. Evens up 2-2.
I think that was going to skip sideways. If it goes straight back, you talked about that short backstop. If it goes straight back, it comes right back to the catcher. But if it goes sideways, that would allow that run to score.
2-2. Kinnison again outside. The pitch swung on, grounded back to Selby. She'll go to first to Molnaric in time for the out. So Selby dealt with some traffic but gets through it unscathed. For the Cyclones in the top of the second, they get no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 3 runners left on base. That could loom large in this one. Pinnacle Bank score after an inning and a half of play. It is O'Neill 1, Highway 91 0. Back with the bottom half after these messages.
My family has been in this business for a long time, and we've always put the community first.
Our goal when we wake up every morning is how can our communities get to the next level?
Here at the bank, we're very community involved. We definitely like to serve on our committees. Working somewhere that allows me to continue to do that is awesome.
My parents work together in this bank. My grandparents work together in this bank.
Being locally owned, being family owned, it is fun to share that spirit.
The reason I like working for Tri-County Bank is the one-on-one contact with our customers.
People know that they can call any of us here if they really need something on my cell phone at 8 o'clock at night. It doesn't matter. That relationship is huge, especially in this day and age. It's just important for me that I could be a part of my family's legacy and keep this bank going, hopefully on to the 5th, 6th, 7th generation.
Rouse, Kinnison, Molnaric, then Hofer if somebody reaches base. Danny Rouse looks at this first one outside for ball one. She was the right fielder, but moved to third when Sorensen broke her ankle. Rouse, 370 hitter on the season. That's one of the team leaders.
That's a position, third base position, she played quite a bit this summer.
She swings and fouls this one at the plate. Evens up 1-1. I think that may have been foul tipped right into the glove of the catcher, Faltis. Standing back in is Danny Rouse. Rouse, slightly open stance, right-hand batter, pitch, swung on, foul back to the screen. 1-2 on Rouse. Kinnison waits on deck. She is the catcher.
Kind of on the inside half, maybe just above the knees, and Marley just put a really nice swing on it, nice line drive.
Here's Emerson Molnaric, first baseman. Molnaric, and not uncommon to have your first baseman lead the team in fielding percentage, but she has a really good one, like something like 9.89, I believe, on the season. So very solid over there at first base, Emerson Molnaric. But as we said, it's not uncommon to have that position lead the team in that percentage. Strike two. 0-2 to Molnaric. Ramsey Hofer waits in the on-deck circle. Hofer will just be about her, I think, her 4th or 5th at bat of the season if she comes to the plate. She plays a lot of defense, doesn't get a lot of plate appearances. Change-up, it was outside. 1-2 to Molnaric. Runner at first and 1 out for O'Neill, leading 1-0. Bottom half inning number 2, a game scheduled for 7 innings. Madeline Rayback. Wind in the pitch. Molnaric swung on and missed for strike 3. Molnaric gone swinging for out number 2 in the second strikeout for Madeline Rayback. And here's Ramsey Hofer. Hofer, the right fielder, senior at St. Mary's as Molnaric is. Pitch. Up high for ball 1. 1-0 to Ramsey with Bristol Scott in the on-deck circle. Scott, the center fielder, but a runner at first and 2 outs. Bottom half inning number 2. Rayback's pitch swung on and missed for strike 1. And Rayback, after struggling a little bit finding the strike zone in that top half or bottom half of the first, she's been right around the strike zone or in it much of this inning. Now, as I say that, once you know it's inside for a ball, gets by the catcher and down to second base goes Kinnison, and Kinnison is running for herself. O'Neill sometimes elects to use a courtesy runner for her. 2-1 to Ramsey over Bristol Scott, waiting in the on-deck circle. Rayback checks her sign. Pitch. Inside for ball 3, so 3-1 on Hofer. And Rianne Brune in center field, she was using her right hand to shade the sun. Now he's using her glove hand. And Hofer looks at this one high for a ball. So Ramsey Hofer earns a 5-pitch walk. That'll put runners on first and second now with Scott up there, the 9-hitter. Bristol on the season, 222 average. He scored 20 runs, however. So a good eye up there at the plate for Scott, who has an open stance. RBI opportunity. First pitch swinging, she fouls it. Straight back for strike 1, hit the roof of the press box here at Kearney Park. That's where Steve and I are, along with Emily Morrow. Glad you're joining us on 1350 AM, 99.9 FM, KBRX.com, and also on Eagle Eye Broadcasting. Pitch outside for ball 1. 1-1 to Bristol Scott. Aubrey Blackburn, the second baseman, waits in the on-deck circle.
Bristol has a little bit of power. I think she had 3 or 4 home runs this summer.
Pops this one up. The shortstop Hanson calling for it. She's there and makes the catch. So Scott pops to short, and O'Neill gone in the bottom of the second. No runs, a hit. There were no errors, and 2 runners left on base. After 2 complete, your Pinnacle Bank score, it is O'Neill 1 and Highway 91 0. Back with the third after these messages.
Experience luxury and style at Signature Salon in O'Neill, Nebraska, where your beauty is our signature. Pamper yourself with our top-tier nail services, from flawless manicures and pedicures to stunning nail art. Elevate your look with our expert eyelash and eyebrow treatments. You can even achieve that sun-kissed glow all year round with our premium tanning services. Need a fresh hairstyle? Our talented stylists are here to craft the perfect cut and color just for you. Plus, explore our exclusive signature services that cater to your every beauty need. Visit Signature Salon today and let us help you shine.
Great Plains State Bank has moved and is now open in downtown O'Neill. We're bringing you the hometown banking experience you trust. Great personal service, local decisions, and financial solutions tailored just for you. Whether you're looking for a Kasasa checking account, a home loan, ag loan, or business banking, we're here to help. Visit our new location in the heart of downtown O'Neill at 620 East Douglas. Great personal service, better banking. Learn more at gpsbanks.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Selby goes to work, and first pitch swing is Rhiann Brune. In the air to right, Hofer coming on. She's there, and she makes the catch. So Ramsey Hofer, the senior, on senior night, in there to make that catch. Rhiann Brune, first pitch swinging in the air to right, and Hofer had to come in quite a ways.
Yeah, and it had some height to it. That ball gets way up in that sky. Sometimes those can get tough, but she did a nice job tracking it down and watching it in.
Allie Dirkschneider, second baseman. She struck out in her first plate appearance. Selby starts with a pitch down low, 1-0 to Dirkschneider. Brittany Faltis waits in the on-deck circle. Scott a step toward right. She's the center fielder. The pitch. Ground ball to the left side. Fielded by Rouse at third. Over to first. Low throw. Molnaric, nice scoop. She dug it out. And Dirkschneider gone 5-3, although it was far from that academic. Rouse on it quickly. The throw was a little low, but Molnaric, we just talked about her.
Made it look pretty easy. She just got it. She got her, got her body low and got her head kind of in line with the ball and glove in line with the ball, and just textbook scoop over there at first base.
It really was. Molnaric reminding us that they're not always easy over there at first base. Up high, back to the screen. No damage, though, and nobody on base. Faltis took one way out of the strike zone. She struck out back in the first. Up there now in the third with nobody on and 2 outs. Faltis open stance for the catcher. Selby. It's down low for ball 2. 2-0 to Faltis. Raybeck waits on deck. Good crowd on hand. Steve Brown mentioned the nice weather. Told you about it in our M&M Lockers forecast. Having some beautiful September days. Already the 25th, we're into fall. Caught the outside corner 2-1. I remember coming down here on a Thursday night, August 21st, I believe, and I was thinking, wow, the softball season just underway. I'm going to be down here 5 different nights to broadcast, and here we are, the last one. Up high for ball 3, 3-1 to Faltis.
In games we've broadcast, I know they've played in some games where it's been pretty warm. But in games we've broadcasted, this might be one of the warmer nights.
Yeah,
it's
correct.
Later in the season.
We had cooler weather, early in the month. 5-pitch walk to Faltis. She's aboard. Third free pass Selby's issued. So Faltis and Highway 91's trying to start a 2-out rally. Here's Madeline Raybeck. She's singled. Has the only hit so far for Highway 91. We're in the third. A runner at first and 2 outs for the Cyclones. Selby. Pitch. High and tight for ball 1. 1-0 the count on Rayback. Don't forget over on 102.9 FM, Tim Hansen up at St. Mary's High School Gym for the Cardinals versus the Cardinals, Randolph and St. Mary's. This is through for a called strike 1. 1-1 to Rayback. Reese Brune waits on deck. Selby. A long look in. The pitch. Up high. Good snag by Kinnison. Saved a base, most likely, for the Eagles.
We talked a little bit about using the earpiece to call pitches, but now they yell out numbers and they got wristbands, so everybody on the field knows what pitch is coming.
This pitch is outside for a ball, so Raybecks worked a 3-1 count. Cyclones looking for a 2-out rally. They have a runner at first, and the cleanup hitter Raybeck up there. 3-ball, 1-strike count. Selby looks in, trying to come back. Her pitch. This is through for a strike. Full count now on Rayback. She'll have to protect.
The runner probably will be in motion with a full count, 2 outs. So if a ground ball, the play definitely has to be at first.
There goes the runner, and Rayback swings and misses for strike 3. Selby, 5 strikeouts on the night, and Highway 91 gone in the third. No runs, no hits, there were no errors. 1 runner left on base. Cyclones have stranded 4 through the first 3 at-bats. Pinnacle Bank score after 2.5. It is O'Neill 1 and Highway 91 0. Back to Kearney Park after these messages.
You were right.
Hey! You were right!
You were right.
You were right.
You were right. Because we're all planting Brevant seeds next year.
Been hearing that a lot lately.
When you choose Brevant seeds, you don't just win, you get to be right.
Are you longing for a place where you truly belong? Searching for real friendships and meaningful spiritual growth? Discover O'Neill Assembly of God, where you're welcome just as you are. Whether you're raising a family, a teen looking for good friends, or just searching for a fresh start, there's a place for you here. Our kids clubs makes learning about God fun for little ones. Yes, with games and even silly dancing. Middle and high schoolers connect, laugh, and grow together in our youth group. And for adults, our Connect groups and Wednesday gatherings offer friendships, support, and honest conversations about faith and life. We serve our neighbors with love and believe church should feel like coming home. Join us this Sunday. O'Neill Assembly of God, a place for you, because of him. 204 North 7th Street, O'Neill, Nebraska. Welcome home.
For a ball 1-0 to Aubrey Blackburn, and she was thrown out trying to take an extra base. O'Neill got their run in the first, and what made that play hurt a little more is the next batter, Drucke single. Blackburn was fine, and we talked about it. You usually don't want to make the first or third out at third. You can understand early in the game. The other side of that is right. Make the team make plays, and Highway 91 certainly did. Swung on and missed by Blackburn for strike 1. 2-1 the count to Aubrey Blackburn.
Well, it was going to take a pretty good throw to get her out, and she did make that good throw. If that throws up the line or closer to home plate, she's in there safe.
Pitch caught the inside corner. Plate umpire saw it just the way I did, so it evens up 2-2 on Aubrey Blackburn. Grace Drucke in the on-deck circle. Alex Miller, in her first year as head coach at third base, and her father, Chuck Price, long-time O'Neill coach, is in the first base box. Outside for ball 3. 3-2 the count.
It may be her first year as the head coach, but she's got a lot of coaching experience. Coached a lot of summer softball. I was lucky enough to coach a few years with her in the summer.
Fisted fouled on the right side, and also was the starting catcher the first year O'Neill had the program back in 2007. That was a state tournament team.
Yeah, she's been around the game a lot, and from the time she got back here, spending time with Dad and working with kids, and so she's got a lot of softball knowledge.
3-2, the payoff pitch to Blackburn upcoming. Here it is. Swung on, popped up on the right side. First baseman Brune calling for it, and she takes it for out number 1. Blackbird gone with a pop-up to first baseman Reese Brune, and here's Grace Drucke. who has the O'Neill's only run thus far. She singled and then went to second on a Selby ground out, stole third and scored when a errant throw went into left field. First pitch, called strike one. 0-1 to Druki. Riley Selby waiting on deck. Flag hangs still in center field.
There's not a lick of breeze out there, is there?
Swung on and missed for strike two. Kearney Park, this beyond the right field fence, there is Gil Posey Pond, and on humid nights, you can really get some mosquitoes down here, but they haven't been too bad this year. Well, that's easy for me to say sitting up here in the press box. Swung on, lined into right field, and this is going to get by the right fielder Bernhardt. This will be extra bases. Druki around second. She's heading for third. The throw, close play, she's in there safely. Grace Druki with a triple to right center, and she's 2 for 2.
Excellent piece of hitting. The ball was on the outside half, maybe even outside corner. Instead of trying to do too much with it, she went with it, and she's got a little bit of power, and it got over the right fielder's head.
Lined that way. I thought Bernhardt for a second might have a chance to stab that one as she went to her right into right center. It was by her, and a solid triple for Grace Druki. Here's Riley Selby, another RBI opportunity for her. Swung on, grounded sharply foul over toward the Cyclone dugout, and a ground ball would likely score Druki unless it was something hard right at first or third.
I think what you talk about is ground ball's got to get by the first, third, or the pitcher. If it does, you score. If it doesn't, you got to wait for a throw.
Just one out. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball one. 1-1 to Riley Selby. Brenna Davis waits on deck.
Be nice to string a few hits together here and see if the Eagles can get several runs across.
Pitch. Outside for a ball. 2-1 the count.
Been a couple of pitches. The Highway 91 pitcher was maybe a little frustrated with it. She thinks catches the corner.
Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled out of play on the right side, so it evens up 2-2 on Selby. Selby, a senior, also plays basketball. Looks down at Coach Alex Miller. Selby, open stance, right-hand batter. Catcher sets up outside, swung on and fouled back and the count holds at 2-2. Selby, like so many of these players come up through the ranks, they're managers, they're 6th, 7th, 8th grade year, and then they really grow up around the program.
With summer softball and
change up and nearly Ephus type looking pitch there. You don't seem to get that call.
I thought for a second it was going to drop in. It really, really dropped hard at the end.
That's one I don't think Selby would want to look at again. 3-2 count. Pitch. Swung on, grounded, just foul down the first base side. Selby has to come back and do it all over again. 3-2 the count.
Great job at the plate because she's fouled off 4 or 5 pitches, making the pitcher work a little bit. Hopefully she makes a mistake and puts one in her wheelhouse that she can drive here.
3-2. Swung on, line drive, right field. Bernhardt makes the catch. Druki was actually off down the line instead of tagging. I think if she would have tagged, she'd had a good shot to score.
Right. What we've seen so far, I think the center fielder would be a little tougher to tag up and score on with her strong arm, but I think the other 2 outfielders, and I don't mean this bad towards them, but they don't quite have the strong arm that the center fielder does, and I think tagging and scoring would have been a better option.
Brenna Davis looks at one outside for ball one, so we'll see if that play comes back to haunt the Eagles. Davis swung on and missed. So, what could have been, we said, if Blackburn doesn't try to go to third, she scores on the next play because Druki singled there. If Druki would have tagged, it was hit sharply, but I think it was deep enough. I think that Druki, with her speed, probably could have scored.
Yeah, that was my thought. As soon as I saw where it was hit to, I thought she should have tagged and scored. it would have taken a really, really good throw to throw her out.
1-1 count to Davis. Swung on, fisted foul out of play on the left side. So 1-2, and now Rayback just is a strike away from getting through this without allowing a run in this third. It's 1-0 O'Neill in the bottom half of inning number 3. Pitch. Change. Again, did not miss by much.
Well, it starts out so high, and the velocity is so low, it drops so much at the end. But the one thing Brenna's got for her, she's way, way up in the box, so it might go across higher.
Pitch swung on, popped foul out of play again on the left side. So Davis hanging in there. 6th pitch of the at bat upcoming. 2-2 count.
Good at bat, spoiling pitches that were maybe aren't in your wheelhouse that you like to hit, but gets you every chance you get to see a pitcher, get to see a pitch. You get a little more comfortable, and your timing gets a little bit better. So hopefully this bodes well for Brenna here in this at bat.
2-2 inside for ball 3. 3-2 count on Davis. Rouse waiting on deck. Alex Miller down. Some words of encouragement from the third base box. Now Davis stands back in. Rayback looks in the pitch. Swung on, great ground ball through the right side. Solid base hit. Drucke scores standing up. And Davis gets an RBI. So Brenna Davis delivers her really good at bat. Long at bat. Got the pitch she wanted. And punches it through the right side. So an RBI for her, and O'Neill has a 2-0 lead. And here's Danny Rouse.
That's what I really like about how Brenna, how she hits is that pitch was on the inside half, and she gets the bat head out to it and puts it between the first and second baseman. Outside half, she takes it the other way.
Rouse takes one on the inside corner. 0-1 to Danny Rouse. Harley Kinnison in the on-deck circle. Rouse, third baseman, right-handed batter. Rayback, pitch, high for ball 1. 1-1 to Danny Rouse. Harley Kinnison waits on deck. O'Neill trying to rally here on 2. Blackburn started by popping to first. Drucke singled. Selby lined right. This is hit right back up the middle, off the pitcher. Hanson, the second baseman, flips to second to Dirk Schneider covering, and they get the force. And we'll have to check on Rayback there. Is that one off her knee, or so it would appear? It'll go as a fielder's choice. 1-6-4 for out number 3.
Very, very good at bat. Good bat speed, hit it hard, and that's just bad luck to have it ricochet off the pitcher and go right to the shortstop.
For the Eagles in the third, a run on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left on base. After 3 complete, Pinnacle Bank scored is O'Neill 2 and Highway 91 0. Back to Kearney Park after these messages.
No one knows a community better than the people who call it home. O'Neill, Nebraska is a thriving community with emerging economic opportunities, strong leadership, excellent education systems, sound infrastructure, and safe, healthy families. When you have a community as strong as O'Neill, why not work together to make it even stronger? The O'Neill Community Foundation Fund, an affiliate of the Nebraska Community Foundation, awards grants to community projects and manages a variety of funds established by families, individuals, and businesses. We are here to help our community by helping donors do good work for good forever. Whether large or small, your contribution or pledge will have a lasting impact. Your gift can be made to one of our fund's specific purposes, or it can be used to build our community endowment.
Brune walked, was stranded second, back in the second. We'll check with Emily Morrow. She may have a list of how many viewers you have on Eagle Eye. 14. Well, it's a busy night. And they were expecting maybe to hear Logan Bradshaw and Reed Lively. Instead they get Gary Hosmer and Steve Brown.
These two bozos? Get rid of them.
0-2 to Reese Brune. Check in the on-deck circle. But it is a busy night. A lot of stuff going on. Volleyball going on. The O'Neill volleyball team playing over at Hardington. Swung on, popped up on the left side. Rouse, the third baseman, calling for it. She's there, and she makes the catch for out number 1.
Really, really good changeup. Riley she struggles a little bit throwing that changeup for a strike, but when she does throw it well, it's a tremendous change of speed. And even if you do get a piece of it, you can't, it's really, really hard to put a lot on it.
And perhaps we have some listeners in the Clarkson, Lee, and Howells Dodge area as well. Welcome aboard wherever you are listening. Here's Hannah Check, the left fielder. Swung on and missed for strike one. 0-1 to Check. Now, they're rivals in lots of sports. The Clarkson, Lee Patriots, the Howells Dodge team, the Bobcats. But they team up in the softball season. This one's outside for a ball. 1-1. And Mike Spears, the Howells Dodge Bobcat football coach, I've known him for a long time. I went to college with him out of Chadron State. This one's fouled back, and Clarkson Lee, I think this is interesting. The coach's name is Jim Clarkson. He used to coach at Clarkson, now Clarkson Lee. And I've never met him, but they tell me this guy knows every mascot in the state of Nebraska. Wow. I pride myself on knowing a lot of them, but I don't want to take that. I don't want to take on him in that department. This one's up high for a ball. 2-2 to Check with Bailey Rios waiting on deck. Open stance for Check, left fielder. Pitch, swung on and missed. High heat from Selby. Another strikeout for Riley Selby. Her total now stands at 6. With Check gone swinging here in the 4th. And here's Bailey Rios, a designated player. Rios, strikeout victim back in the 2nd. She went down swinging. Swung on, hit sharply out of play on the right side. 0-1 to Rios. Emma Bernhardt waits in the on-deck circle. Highway 91 Cyclones. Selby. Pitch. Down low for a ball. 1-1.
I think that was that changeup we talked about earlier.
Selby a glance over the dugout, outfield, straightaway, and still battling Sun in left field is Anid Gonzalez. Giving it a ride is Rios, but it's out of play down the right field line. Count moves to 1-2 as she comes back to the plate. Ramsey Hofer over there along the line to give it a look, but it was out of play.
And she saw that well off the bat and got a good break on it. If it would have stayed in the park, I think she'd have had a shot at making a good catch on it.
And Hofer continues to play over toward the line. Part of that has to do with Selby's velocity. Ground ball to Molnaric at first. She gloves it, bobbles just for a moment, steps on the bag. 3 unassisted for out number 3, and Clarkson Lee goes in order in the 4th. No runs, no hits, there were no errors, and no runners left on base. After 3.5 innings, or after 3.5 innings of play, your Pinnacle Bank score, it is O'Neill 2, Clarkson Lee 0. Back with the bottom half after these messages.
Transform your outdoor space with Kerwin Design and Landscaping. Whether you're building a new home or renovating your yard, we bring your vision to life with custom designs and expert installation. From studying patios and walkways to retaining walls and water features, we do it all. Quality, affordability, and satisfaction. That's what Kerwin Design is all about. Call us today at 605-830-0300 and let's create your dream landscape together.
Who do you trust to take care of you during an emergency? With over 40 years of experience, Riser Insurance helps their Who do you trust to take care of you during an emergency? With over 40 years of experience, Riser Insurance helps their clients professionally and efficiently. They specialize in home, auto, business, and life and health insurance, as well as farm and crop coverage and retirement services. Riser Insurance provides experience and excellence when you need it most. Stop in at 217 South 4th Street in O'Neill or call 402-336-1983 for all your insurance and retirement needs.
Ran up and set 1 25-8. First pitch swinging is Kinnison, fouls it back for strike number 1. She had a long single to left center back in the 2nd, was stranded at second base. O'Neill with single runs in the 1st and 3rd, lead it 2-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. Kinnison. Swung on, popped up on the left side. Third baseman, Jocelyn Donnelly, calling for it. She's a flex player. She's there, and she makes the catch for out number 1. So Kinnison gone on 2 pitches. There's Emerson Molnaric, the first baseman. Molnaric struck out back in the 2nd. She's 0 for 1. Player that has excellent speed, tall right-handed batter, even stance. Raybeck's pitch, just missed, ball one. Ramsey Hofer waits in the on-deck circle. Senior night here at Kearney Park for the Eagles, last regular season home game. Down low, I know O'Neill has a game remaining in the regular season yet with Shadron, and they'll play that in Valentine.
Nice.
Did that a number of years ago, and then they hadn't played for a number of years.
Does Valentine have? They don't play high school softball, do they?
They do not. This is lined foul down the right side for strike one, 2-1. But they have softball fields, I believe, just north of the hospital near their Legion baseball field. Not so far from the new public golf course.
That's awful nice, because you got to somebody's got to go out there, and because they probably haven't done much with that field to get it ready and get it playable for one game.
Yeah, if my memory serves me correctly, I was thinking that Valentine Legion coach Kent Lopez helped him out a little bit a number of years ago, but I think maybe the coaches also from both teams get there a little early, and so it's takes some doing, some organization. That's true. This is hit into shallow right field. It's going to drop in from Monerick in front of Bernhardt for a base hit. So Monerick has her first hit. She's 1 for 2. Took a big turn and then thought the better of it. O'Neill's already lost one person on the bases tonight. And here's Ramsey Hofer with 1 out.
Hopefully her speed on the base paths puts a little pressure on the defense, and Eagles can get a little something going.
Hofer walked and was stranded at first back in the second. O'Neill stranded 3 runners thus far tonight. Raybeck. Pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 1. 0-1 to Ramsey Hofer. Hofer a look down to third. Still fighting the sun in left field. His hand a check. Bunt by Hofer. It's going to roll just foul. An 0-2 count now on Ramsey Hofer.
It looked like it right off the bat it was going to be a really good bunt, but had a little spin on it. It took it out past the third base line.
0-2 to Hofer. Monerick at first and 1 out. Pitch. This one is outside. There goes the runner to second. Close play. Just in under the tag is Monerick. So a stolen base for Emerson Monerick. We told you she had some speed. She showed it there. 1-2 the count to Hofer. Bristol Scott waits on deck. So a runner in scoring position for the Eagles, who already lead it 2-0. Pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3. So Raybeck records a strikeout. That's her third of this contest, and now it's up to Bristol Scott. Scott popped short back in the second, so she is 0 for 1. Pitch. Fisted to the right side. Second baseman Dirk Schneider up with a throw to first to Brune in time for the out. Scott gone 4-3, and the Eagles strand Monerick at second base. For O'Neill, no runs, a hit. There were no errors. 1 runner left on base. After 4 complete, Pinnacle Bank score, it is the Eagles 2 and the Cyclones 0. Back with the 5th after these messages.
Leading off top the 5th, the Cyclones. Number 20, Emma Bernhardt. Now batting for the Cyclones, number 1, Grace Hansen.
Good throw, Harley. Good effort, Harley. Good work, Harley. That's five.
Now batting for the Cyclones, number 22, Rianne Broom.
Over at the fence talking and helping out whether they have room with the fence or not.
Yes, a good point. Had it been higher, you're taught to get to the fence and then put your arm and work away, but Blackburn not afforded that luxury. 2-1. Down low for a ball. 3-1 the count. Dirk Snyder waits on deck. A runner at second, 1 out. It's 2-0 O'Neill, but Cyclones trying to cut that lead in half with a person of Bernhardt out there at second base. 3-1. Through for a strike. 3-2 to Rianne Brune. She's put the ball in play twice already. Out 1-3 and a fly out to Hofer at right field leading off the third. 3-2 count. This game now a little over an hour old. The pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to center. Right center. Scott's playing there, though. She comes in and makes a sliding catch. Nice play by Bristol Scott. She took charge early there, and I don't think it carried quite as far as she thought, but the play was in front of her, and she kept coming and made that sliding catch.
I like the aggressiveness. The outfielder coming in the ball tends to have a better chance at getting to it. Going back on a ball is way tougher catch. Coming in, you have a better chance at getting it. So I like the fact she took charge and just was very aggressive and went and got it.
Here's Dirk Snyder. First pitch up high for a ball, 1-0. Yes, and we talked at great length all season about how Scott usually plays hitters to go the opposite way. The right-hander she plays over in right center. It paid off that time, and we saw right away her right hand went up. She was calling for it all the way. This one caught the inside corner, 1-1, and Allie Dirk Snyder. Strikeout and a ground out. She's 0 for 2. 1-1 count now. With 2 outs, Bernhardt has the benefit of being able to go on contact. Somebody in the outfield most likely score. Up high on the third offering, so it's 2-1 now on Allie Dirk Snyder, right-handed batting second baseman. Cyclones just 2-17 on the season. We've talked several times, and they had some narrow losses that their record was deceiving. They showed that tonight. They're in still one of those anybody's game here in O'Neill. And there's a strike, 2-2. To Allie Dirk Snyder. Faltis waits on deck. Faltis, the catcher, has the shin guards on. There are 2 outs. And then sun now starting to set. Now that's a factor now. Pitch. Just missed with a change. 3-2. That's the umpire's been very consistent on that change. Has really not given that for a strike to either team.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's easy to sit up here and pass judgment. I really think he's been pretty solid all night long.
Oh, absolutely. Swan tried to check her swing. I don't think she did hold back. Yes. So it will be a walk. O'Neill will probably come out and ask on that. They're going to say no. So Dirk Schneider able to hold back, and she gets the walk. So now runners on first and second, and 2 outs for Faltus, the catcher, who has to take the shin guards off. She has that taken care of, and comes to the plate. Tall right-handed batter is Faltus.
Yeah, and asking the base ump whether she went around or not. He's over behind the shortstop with the runner on second, so it would almost be harder for him to see it than for the catcher to see it.
Correct, yes. Or the plate umpire.
I'm sorry.
Catcher probably thought it was a strike.
Catcher, I think catcher was signaling out from the get-go.
Yes. Down low for a ball. 1-0 to Faltus. Madeline Rayback waits on deck. Hofer way over along the line in right field. Straight away and left is Ani Gonzalez. This pitch runs inside, good block by Kinnison. 2-0 the count. Faltus up there, Rayback, cleanup hitter in the on-deck circle.
I wonder sometimes when you're struggling throwing strikes, if they just say, we're not going to mess around with junk. We're just going to try to throw it right down the middle. With her velocity, I think it would be effective.
3-0 count. We'll see if Selby maybe chooses to do that. Is pitching with a 2-run lead, although the go-ahead run at the plate for Highway 91. She is a 3-hitter. Swung on. She had the green light. Punch to the right side. Blackburn will go to second. The shortstop covering, and O'Neill gets out of it. It'll be a 4-6. That one could fisted, had some spin on it, but Blackburn did a nice job there of fielding that one. Made sure. Went the short route to Drucke covering, and Highway 91 threatens in the 5th, but does not score. No runs on, no hits. There were no errors, and 2 runners left on base. After 4.5, Pinnacle Bank score. It is O'Neill 2, Highway 91 0. Back with the bottom half after these messages.
Three River Communications is taking your internet, phone, and TV to the next level. Streaming, gaming, working, or learning, it all happens smoother with Three River. Come see us just 1 block south of the Shamrock in O'Neill and experience the difference yourself. Get unbeatable internet, crystal clear calls, and awesome cable TV, all powered by brand new fiber optic technology. Three River Communications, proud to support high school sports.
Selby, then Davis if someone gets on. In left field, Hannah Check playing fairly deep. Swung on and fouled off the catcher's gear. 1-1 on Blackburn. The right fielder, Emma Bernhardt, a little more shallow than the other 2 outfielders. 1-1 to Blackburn, who has speed. Leadoff hitter. She is 0 for 1 tonight. Did walk. Comebacker. Raybeck has it. Easy flip to Brune at first, and Blackburn gone 1-3 for out number 1.
Good at bat, well hit ball, just the unlucky hit of going, the old Adam ball, we call it.
And here's Grace Drucke. Drucke has scored both O'Neill runs tonight, and she is 2 for 2, a single and a triple. A up high for a ball. 1-0 to Grace Drucke, right-handed batting shortstop. Drucke stands back in ahead in the count. Raybeck the pitch, swung on, line drive, center field. But talk about Adam ball, Steve Brown. There it
well
is.
Hit.
Rian Bruin. Drucke is really seeing the ball well right now, but that one, just anywhere else, they call that a triple. But it's right at Rian Bruin, who had that one measured all the way and allowed out for Drucke for out number 2. Here's Riley Selby, the pitcher. 2-0 O'Neill. Getting late now. 4-5-6 upcoming for the Cyclones in the top of the 6th. Selby looks at one, called strike 1. 0-1 to Riley Selby. Selby 0 for 2 tonight. She lined out to right her last at bat. Pitch. Fouls this one sharply out of play, so quickly she's behind 0-2. O'Neill has also the Mid-State Conference Tournament upcoming. They are the 3 seed, I believe, in that tournament. Swung on comeback. Raybeck has it. Easy throw to first for the out. And a quick bottom of the 5th for O'Neill. No runs, no hits, or no errors, and no runners left on base. After 5 complete, Pinnacle Bank score, it is O'Neill 2, Highway 91-0. Back after these messages.
At the Evergreen Assisted Living Center, your loved one can live life to the fullest. With access to in-house physical therapy, we prioritize their health and well-being. Residents can enjoy a warm dining room to share meals with friends and family, a vibrant game room with activities for all ages, and even a cozy movie theater to watch their favorite films. Need space for gatherings? Our event room features a breathtaking mural, perfect for hosting or simply admiring. Plus, our personalized apartments with outdoor access create a true sense of home. And with our dedicated and compassionate staff available around the clock, your loved one is always in great hands. The Evergreen Assisted Living Center, where comfort, care, and community come together.
And for Highway 91, 4-5-6, Raybeck, Bruin, check, Rios if they get a base runner. Selby working on a shutout. She's allowed just 1 hit and has struck out 7. But she's had to deal with some traffic, has issued several free passes, and Highway 91 left the bases loaded back in the 2nd. Called strike 1, 0-1 to Raybeck.
You could had some velocity, can hit that outside corner. Is a nice pitch.
Selby, 2nd offering upcoming, and here it is. Raybeck had a notion, held back, and sees the count even up at 1 apiece. Lights are on here at Kearney Park. The night comes on a little quicker this time of year. First day of fall. A couple of days back, swung on, fouled out of play by Raybeck. So, count moves to 1-2. Corey Mitchell back in the studio letting us know Humphrey Lindsay defeats Summerlin 2-0, 28-26, 25-22. And Stanton defeated Summerlin 2-0, 25-13, 25-11. A lot of volleyball around the area tonight. This pitch is again fouled out of play, and 1 more score. And that was actually just the sports ticker. That's letting viewers on KBRX.com know this score is 2-0 in the 6th inning with O'Neill leading. 1-2. So we tried to retire the leadoff hitter here in the 6th. The pitch. It's inside, evens up at 2-2. 2-2 count. Kinnison had that one get away from him a moment, gets it back. Fires it to Selby. Selby, the wind and the pitch. Swung on, hit in the air to left and deep. Gonzalez goes back, it's overhead and up against the fence. This will be extra bases. Raybeck around first and into second base, standing up. Solid base hit, the hardest hit ball by far tonight for the Cyclones, and they're in business here with a leadoff runner at second base in the 6th.
This might be a game that I've watched Riley Selby pitch where she's had more balls that she's pitched hit to left field or pulled foul to the left and in any other games I've watched.
Here we go. Brune now comes in, and O'Neill most likely just play for the out with a 2-run lead. Runner at second, so nobody out. But I think on something routine, O'Neill will just try to go to first. It's a called strike. 0-1 to Brune, who walked and stranded at second, back in the second, popped to first in the fourth. She's 0 for 1. Now with an RBI opportunity. Swung on and missed for strike 2.
Good velocity on that. Batter was quite a bit behind that pitch.
Cyclones only had one runner reach third base tonight, and it was Rayback, who's at second right now. She was stranded at third back in the second. An inning where the Cyclones left the bases loaded. This one's down low for a ball. 1-2 to Reese Brune. Selby. Love to record a strikeout here. This one, and she gets just that. Went upstairs and swung on and missed by Brune for out number 1, and that's a big one. And for Selby, her 8th strikeout of the game. Here's Hannah Check. Check, strikeout, 2 strikeouts, looking in the second and swinging in the fourth. Swung on and missed for strike 1. Her name spelled C-E-C-H, but I can't help but wonder what the pronunciation. At one time, it might have been C-Z-E-C-H. There is a lot of people of Czech ancestry in that Clarkson, Lee, Howells, Dodge area. Swung on and missed for strike 2. 0-2 to Czech. Bailey Rios waits on deck.
Spent a lot of time looking down at her coach. Looks like she's got a pretty good swing, but just isn't making contact. Sometimes that can get a little frustrating and get in your head a little bit as a hitter.
And that is Drew Mottmuller. Now that sounds pretty German. That doesn't sound Czech to me. This one is up high or down low for a ball. 1-2 to Czech. Czech bats right, throws left. Selby's pitch. Runner at second, 1 out. This is up high for ball 2. So Rayback, who led off that sharp double to deep left, still out there at second base. Brune struck out. Now Czech up there with a 2-2 count. Pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. So Selby again with a big response. I think Selby thought that was the third out as she was heading over toward the dugout.
I noticed something with that last batter. When she has hold of the bat, there's about an inch gap between her hands. That's a rarity. Most people, when they hit, their hands are touching on the bat. I wonder if they're trying to fix a flaw in the swing with that stance or with that grip on the bat.
Here's Rios. Ground ball weakly to third. Rouse charges in. Throw to first, a little low. Dug out by Molnaric at a great play. They get Bailey Rios by half a step. 5-3, and Selby pitches around the leadoff double, and for Highway 91, it's kind of the way it goes when wins have been tough to come by. They don't score a run, they get a hit, that sharp double by Rayback, but then nothing after that. So no runs, 1 hit, there were no errors, and 1 runner left on base. And for the game thus far, 7 runners left on base for Highway 91. Your Pinnacle Bank score after 5.5. It is O'Neill 2 and Highway 91 0. Back with the bottom half of the 6th after these messages.
O'Neill Electric Motor Service specializes in the rewinding of electric irrigation motors and generators. O'Neill Electric Motor Service specializes in the rewinding of electric irrigation motors and generators. Along with sales of U.S. vertical motors, O'Neill Electric is a distributor of Baldur and Leeson electric motors and Winco PTO portable and standby generators. O'Neill Electric provides electrical contracting. Their licensed electricians specialize in the wiring of grain bin storage, farm and commercial buildings. O'Neill Electric is the area's premier electric motor repair shop and electrical contractors.
First pitch swinging, Brenna Davis, ground ball to third, right at the bag. Donnelly gloves, throws across to Brune in time for the out. So 1 pitch, 1 out for O'Neill, the bottom of the 6th. Brenna Davis out 5-3 on a nice play by Donnelly. Here's Danny Rouse.
A good at-bat, just happened to hit it right at her again.
Rouse, first pitch swinging, fouls it right back to the screen. 0-1 to Danny Rouse. She is 0 for 2 tonight, reached on a fielder's choice and struck out. That strikeout came back in the 2nd. This pitch swung on, popped up right side. Dirk Schneider, long run for the second baseman. She comes in and Allie Dirk Schneider makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 quick outs here. Looking ahead to the top of the 7th, it'll be 8, 9, and 1 for Highway 91. Here's Kinnison, the catcher, up high for ball 1. 1-0 to Kinnison, singled, popped to third thus far tonight. Through for a called strike. 1-1. Right-handed batting catcher Harley Kinnison, one of 9 seniors for the Eagles. This pitch swung on, ripped foul down the right side, out of play. So 1-2 count. Pitch swung on, fouled back. So Kinnison fighting off a good pitch there, able to hold off on that one. Nobody aboard, 2 outs for O'Neill here. Bottom half inning number 6, the Eagles lead it by a score of 2-0. O'Neill with single runs in the 1st and 3rd inning. Mid-State Conference Tournament next up for the Eagles. That's on Saturday, the 27th. Then O'Neill, I know, has a game with Shadron next week for sure. I thought they had a couple regular season games up. It's not showing on my NSA schedule after that Saturday. And ground ball sharply to third. Glove by Donnelly across to first to Brune. Nice play by the hot corner. They called that for a reason. And Donnelly was busy that half inning with a couple of assists. And O'Neill goes in order in the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. After 6 complete, Pinnacle Bank score O'Neill 2, Highway 91 0. Back with a 7th after these messages.
At O'Neill Family Pharmacy, we're more than just your hometown pharmacy. We're your neighbors. From prescriptions and healthcare essentials to unique gifts for every occasion, our full-service pharmacy and retail store has you covered. Our friendly and helpful staff are here to make your experiences easy and welcoming. And when life gets busy, don't worry. Our all-hours pharmacy vending machine is available anytime, day or night. O'Neill Family Pharmacy, caring for you around the clock.
In action on Saturday with a triangular hosted by Takema Herman, North Bend Central, the other team involved there. The O'Neill traveling to West Point for the Mid-State Tournament, and Takema Herman triangular for Highway 91. Selby finishing her warm-up tosses. She's been very good tonight, has only allowed 1 runner to third base, and only 3 have gotten as far as second. 9 strikeouts for Selby in this effort. Bernhardt, the right fielder, has been on base with a couple of walks. Walked in the 2nd, stranded at first. Walked in the 5th, stranded at 2nd. First pitch swinging, she fouls it back to the screen, 0-1. O'Neill trying to up their record to 13-10 on the season. Always tough Mid-State Conference. Has Guardian Angels, Wayne, O'Neill, Pierce, Boone Central, and Ponca. This one's down low for a ball. 1-1 to Bernhardt.
Yeah, there could be some good competition on Saturday with
O'Neill,
those squads.
right? O'Neill riding that momentum of that win over Guardian Angels in regular season play on Tuesday night, but you can bet the Blue Jays will have that on their mind as well. This one's up high for a ball. 2-1 the count now to Bernhardt. Wayne, a team that's defeated O'Neill. O'Neill's split with Ponca on the season. Pitch. Beat Boone Central to the Eagles. This one is down low for a ball, so Bernhardt trying to work her third walk of the night. Hanson waits on deck. Hanson's 0 for 2. Then it's top of the order. Selby trying to come back on the 8-hitter. Through for a called strike 2. 3-2, and really a big pitch up coming.
Yeah, getting that first out in the last inning tends to really be demoralizing for the team that's trying to make that comeback.
Guns have been tough to come by. This one swung on, fouled out of play on the right side. Tough to come by for Highway 91 on the season, averaging just a little over 4 a game, but being shut out here so far tonight. It's been a good one here from Kearney Park. Selby may ask for a new softball, maybe a little bit of moisture on that now as we're getting
That grass is probably a
in
little
the
wet out
evening,
there.
and yes, and just a lot of humidity in the area and so forth. I bet that's what it was. Selby does have that new softball. 3-2, we'll do it all over again here. Leadoff hitter in the top half of inning number 7. Riley Selby. Pitch, it's up high for a ball.
Not a bad. Tough to watch that go by with 2 strikes. It probably was up in the zone, but it didn't miss by much.
Bernhardt has just earned her 3rd walk of this game. Here's Grace Hanson, the shortstop.
I think we may have a pinch hitter.
And we do. Check that out for you here. And that will be Shaylin Marty. And Marty on the season, pretty good average. I saw 345 for her on the season. Not as many at-bats as the starters, but Marty here coming in a pressure situation, trying to deliver for the Cyclones. Swung on, fouled straight back.
She's got a nice swing. She had, gets the hands and the shoulders to stay connected, and she's got a pretty quick bat.
5 seniors on this Highway 91 roster, and 4 of those players, no, just 3 of those players in the starting lineup. This is a called strike 2, 0-2. Marty a long look down to Drew Mueller, the third base coach. 0-2, this will be big for Selby and the Eagles. A runner at first, nobody out here. Top of the 7th, O'Neill leads at 2-0. The pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. So a good morning, good afternoon, good evening strikeout for Selby. That's her 10th of the night. St. Mary's did defeat Randolph 3 sets to none, 25-8, 25-11, 25-13. Again, big thanks to Corey Mitchell, our studio engineer. Doing a great job of passing those scores along to us. Here's Rianne Brune. 1 on, 1 out. First pitch swinging, swung on and missed for strike 1. Allie Dirkschneider waiting in the on-deck circle. Selby. Pitch. Swung on, popped up, drifting foul.
It's one thing that this field doesn't have is a lot of foul territory. There just isn't much room between the foul lines and the fence.
0-2 the count. That's very true. Sends the kids scrambling a lot of occasions. Change up high for ball 1, 1-2. Bernhardt led off with a walk. She's still over at first. Marty, the pinch hitter, struck out, and now Brune up there, leadoff hitter, 1-2, top of the order for Cyclones, and she swings and misses. Selby's strikeout count continues to build, now at 11, and 161 on the season. There's Allie Dirkschneider, last hope for the Cyclones. She's a second baseman. She's struck out swinging in the first, out 5-3 in the third. She walked and was forced 4-6 in the 5th on that play by Blackburn. Selby's pitch. Outside for ball 1. 1-0 to Allie Dirkschneider. Scott in center field, a step toward right. No surprise there. Gonzalez straight away in left. Hofer guards the line in right. Or is that York now? I'll have Steve take a look.
I think it is York, but I'll double check it.
Down low for a ball. I think that maybe, yes, Josie York, I do believe. Or is it still Hofer? Hofer's 7.
Number 9.
Yeah, it's Josie York. That's what I thought.
I think Hofer was wearing a visor, and Josie doesn't.
2-0 the count to Dirk Schneider. Selby. Runner at first and 2 outs. The pitch. Through for a strike at the knees. 2-1. 11 strikeouts for Selby. She'd like to make it an even dozen. 2-1 to the 2-hitter in the Cyclone lineup. Selby rocks and fires. This pitch swung on, fouled sharply, out of play on the right side. And there again go the kids, a familiar sight here at Kearney Park. That's familiar everywhere, I guess, in small town America. But here, as you said, with the limited foul territory, you really get a lot of foul balls here.
What I like about this is it's pretty safe to just let them scramble and go. Sometimes they're beside highways and roads and things. It's not quite as safe to go scrambling for them.
Swung on and fouled back. Count holds at 2-2, or in the case of Broken Bow at Tomahawk Park, by a train. Although that they have that fenced off. I think they told me one time down there they had a foul ball reached far enough to land in a coal car.
And it went all the way to Omaha.
Yes. Now providing some electricity. 2-2. The pitch swung on and missed, strike 3, and there's the ball game. Selby gets her 12th strikeout to put an exclamation point on what was a very competitive game for the Cyclones. No runs in the top of the 7th on no hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left on base. Your Pinnacle Bank final score is O'Neill 2 and Highway 91 0.